Hey guys, welcome back. I said last episode that I wanted to take a little break from my end project to mix things up, so I thought I'd do a little bit of work around my house. The other day, it occurred to me that since I did most of my home area work before I started this series, you guys haven't actually really seen my house or the underground project that I have here. So I'll admit, my house isn't really anything special. I built it on pretty much the first day in this world, and I haven't really done anything with it. At some point, I might renovate it a bit, but I do kind of like it just being simple. This is a bunch of stuff. This is my first diamond I ever got, my first amethyst, my first ever pickaxes. This is my first axolotl and tadpole. This is a bow with 0 durability. Just stuff, cool stuff I found in my world that I thought it was worth keeping. Anyway, my basement, however, was a slightly later addition, and I have changed this round a few times. So you have kind of seen this before. You've saw me bring in my cleric, and these are all of the villagers that I've cured over time. The other main thing is here, obviously, this is my storage area, and then I've got like workstations and some smelting stuff. There's nothing like super special or high-tech, but I do really like this place. I really like the ceiling. Also, I can't remember if I ever needed to mention this before, but I do have the armor stand mod, which is how I've got the coral displaying like this. Anyway, the main thing I want to work on today is down these very long stairs. And it's part of one of my biggest projects so far. I worked on it for a good few months, and I really can't tell you how happy I am with how it came out, but enough talking about it. Let me show you around. So this is my cave. It's kind of like my island above, where I've got lots of different biomes in the same space, which means I guess it fits the vibe of my island. So taking it in stages, directly in front of us we have the area around my mine entrance, which goes down to diamond level, and this is just meant to be like super ore rich and like part of a working mine shaft. So there's piles of ores and mine carts and pickaxes that were left behind by workers and some barrels full of different ores. And then over this side, we've got the dripstone caves, which I think looks really cool. I love how this bit came out. And the bit we'll be working on today is actually over the other side of here, but first we got to look at this side. This lush cave area is probably the biggest section of my cave, and it also has some actual function to it. So over here, just under this hill, is where I've got my dripstone farm. I built this as like a temporary farm, and it just seemed to actually work quite well, so I've kept it. It looks like I could probably do with harvesting it sometime soon. I think it works so well just because it's loaded a lot, because it's directly under my house. And then up these stairs, we've got this little tunnel which goes under the hill. And down here, we've got the skeleton farm that I set up as my first proper XP grinder. I don't really use this that much anymore since I've got my wither skeleton farm, but it served its purpose, and it looks kind of cute. I like it. And then out here, I've got my amethyst farm is up in this section. It's not automatic, it's completely manual, but there is at least a conduit, so it's pretty easy to use, and like with the dripstone farm, it's loaded all the time because it's in my house, so they grow very, very fast. Finally down here, we've got the little mushroom area of the cave. I actually only planted like 5 of these brown mushrooms, and they've just spread over time, which is actually quite cool. But yeah, this probably could do with some more work. I'm not very good at like organic builds or anything, but I think it came out quite cool. I tried to make some little hanging mushrooms and some sort of ones that going step ups and sort of growing into the wall, so it came out alright. So it's time to get on with the project for today. So over this side of the dripstone area, I made a start on a new area, which is like super snowy and icy, and I did a decent amount of work on it, but I kind of lost interest and moved on to other projects, so I want to try and get this area finished today. I think the first thing I need to do is sort out the floor on this side. I've done a decent job of this side in getting the snow to go up the walls, but on this side the deep slate is still very much here on the floor, and I need to get rid of it. And that's all the way around here up into this little cave and all of this bit. I need to make it nice and snowy, so I think we'll do that first. Alright, I think we're looking okay. I'll probably have to do some tweaks, but I really like the way this is going. So, the next thing we need to do is build the ceiling. Now, anyone who's built a ceiling in Minecraft will tell you that they're super easy. No, they're the worst. They're a right pain to build, but I will try my best. Let's build a section together, and then I'll probably just do the rest off camera because time lapses, they just don't really work with ceilings. I think the reason why I originally stopped this project is because I just wasn't sure where I was going with it. You see, I don't really have like a mind's eye, so I can't really picture anything, and that's why I tend to do a lot of drawing on squared paper or mocking things up in creative so I can just try different things and shapes out. But I really struggled to do either of those things for this project, and I just couldn't seem to get it working, and the ceiling was a huge part of that for me. The roof just felt so high up, like it was never really going to work. I mean, I think I've got an idea of how I want it to look now, or at least I hope I do, but it's definitely a struggle sometimes. I think I like the way this is turning out. I definitely want it to come down lower as we go further back into the tunnel, but not a ton, just a bit, enough that it feels like it's closing in on you slightly as you get further away from my home. But anyway, like I said, ceilings are a pain, so I'm going to get this done in 3, 2, 1. That's looking more like it. I'm so happy with how this came out. I might need to do some tweaks here and there, but overall it's looking how I wanted it to. Now on this side, I haven't fully transitioned it out, and that's because I think at some point I want to turn this big cave into a skulk covered area, and the ceiling here is going to have to integrate into that, so I might just leave it like this for now and we can make it work. However, we aren't quite done with this area yet. I want to turn this drop here into a frozen waterfall. I think it could look really cool and give a good like end or transition to this area. So I guess I have a waterfall to build. It's not the best waterfall I've ever seen, but it's mine and I like it. So I think the only thing left to do today is give you the full tour of the cave, including our newly added ice cavern with some shaders. Trust me, shaders really help make this place come alive. that, I think I'll call it there for today. I'm really glad that I decided to take a little break and finish this project up. It's been hanging over me for months, and I really like how it came out. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!